Hi, this is Rachel Steinberg presenting Project 9, QuadCopter downloading IMU data from the Raspberry Pi to the host via Bluetooth. This is a pretty similar prompt from last week of Project 8, except it's now over Bluetooth instead of Wi-Fi, so it's a pretty similar setup. We have a portable cell phone battery pack powering our Raspberry Pi while we fly. Right now I have it hooked up to just a general outlet, so it's a little bit of a different cable. This Raspberry Pi is then serially connected to our Arduino, which is then hooked up to our IMU. For part of this demo, I will be using a secondary monitor, so we also have an HDMI cable connecting to the monitor, and then a USB which is connecting to a mouse and keyboard. Because Project 8 is pretty similar to Project 9, we were able to reuse the Project 8 Arduino code to get the IMU data, and then here, Project 9, I've created a pretty similar script to last week where we're listening to the serial port of the Arduino, but this week we're also creating a file. So if I run the script, we see that a file was created and it's getting the IMU data. So now if I tilt the quadcopter, we're switching the roll, we can switch the pitch, and then we'll see a difference in the yaw as well. And then we see that there's also been a file created, which is named based on the time and date. So if we kill the program and we open up this file, we can see that all the data that was here is now saved in this file. So the last value we had was 312.5, and here we see the exact same thing. And then what we can do is connect via Bluetooth. So here we can shut off the Wi-Fi, connect to a recent device. This is our Bluetooth manager. We can also send files. So here, if I go to the IMU data, we have this file which we're allowed to send. So here we have my laptop, Rachel Flex, which if we see here, we have the Raspberry Pi connected. And then we can send and receive file via Bluetooth, receive files. It's ready to be received. So in here, if we try to send, we see that it has been received over here. So we have now successfully sent a file of IMU data from the Raspberry Pi to the host, which is my laptop. Another way to get the IMU data via Bluetooth is to SSH into the Pi and then set up a serial port on PuTTY. So here we have the COM7 port, and here we have the Pi that's being SSH into over Wi-Fi. So if we run this command, we are saying to output the Python 3 data, the Python script data to over Bluetooth. So here we have over Bluetooth, over the COM7 serial port, all of the IMU data. So if I take it and I start changing directions of the quadcopter, it is changing data. And then here on the SSH, I can kill the program, and it says interrupt exiting program. And then if we look over here, we see that there is a second file that was created. So based on the timestamp, we know that this is the newer one. And when we open it, we can see that the last roll was 6.5 with a yaw of 295.625. And here we see that there was a 6.5 with a yaw of 295.625. So the data has successfully been captured and sent via Bluetooth, but then also still saved as a file on the Raspberry Pi. The left PuTTY session is SSHing into the Pi so that we can run the Python script to get the IMU data, and then on the right side is going to be that COM7 serial port for the Bluetooth. Now that we have the IMU data, I'm going to go get the file that the Python script is saved of that IMU data printout, and then we're going to do a print to the Bluetooth PuTTY session on the COM7 on the right-hand side. As you can see on the left, we had a last value of around negative 179, negative 7, and 325. And then if we look at what was transported over Bluetooth, we have the exact same numbers being shown at the bottom of the file. So what was shown on the Pi while we were flying is the same as what got saved and then transported over Bluetooth.